Hey, how's it going? John from Branson, Cerakote here. We were contacted a couple of weeks ago by our friends John and Dave over at Villanova Custom Coatings in Illinois about a modification they made to their sandblast cabinet. They installed a device that allowed them to change their cabinet from a traditional pickup feed to a siphon feed. They told me the big advantage of that was that they were able to turn their cabinet down from about 80-85 psi doing metal down to about 50 to 55 psi and get the exact same results. So immediately you can see that you're going to save money on abrasive. It won't break down as often. Your compressor's not going to run as much. So you use less oil, less electricity. The nozzles and the heads on your sandblast cabinet will last longer. The film on the inside of the window will last longer because it's not that higher pressure media blasting all over the inside of that cabinet. So I went to blastlineusa.com and ordered the kit, which is called an abrasive metering valve. It's about 70 bucks, but if this works out for us, then I think it's going to be a money well spent. I've also taken the time to go ahead and do some minor repairs and upgrades to our cabinet, things that have been kind of bothering me for a while, such as the mesh that we put in there to keep pins and things from falling through has kind of gotten a little beat up, so I went ahead and replaced that. And I also replaced the pedal on our cabinet, which came with it, which is just a standard scat blast pedal with an Eastwood blast cabinet foot pedal kit. The big advantage to that one, from talking to John especially, was that the valve on that TP Tools pedal was fairly small, so it really restricts the air going through it, whereas the East one has got a big bell on the back of it that as soon as you crank it open, that air just kind of flies through there and it doesn't restrict it at all. So I went ahead and did that. I went ahead and moved our pressure valve over to where I could reach it better rather than being on the wall next to the cabinet, and got everything just installed in a day. Honestly, it took me probably about 3 hours, but a big part of that was taking the deck out of the sandblast cabinet so I could drill the hole through for the pickup tube. And then also all the rerouting and everything. So took a bunch of pictures during the process. I'll take the camera over and kind of show you how it all works and where you need to do it and what we did anyway. We did it a little different than they did as far as some fittings and things like that, but the only thing I've sanded so far was a tumbler just to test it, and I noticed immediately at probably 50 psi, which is right around the range that I was sanding before, was way too much. It literally almost burned a hole through it. So I did a tumbler at about 25 psi, which is just completely unheard of for doing anything. So I'm going to take the tripod over, set it up, and kind of just walk you through everything. So we'll be right back. So the first thing we did is went ahead and replace that air valve. This is just a standard Cobalt Lowe's off-the-shelf pressure valve. However, with it being mounted directly to the cabinet, it's just going to make it a whole lot easier to transition over. We also replaced the pedal, and then there's the actual metering valve. Like I said, we'll put pictures at the end of the video of all this stuff, so it's a little easier to see. One thing that we did not do that John and Dave had done was they moved their air hose from where it's mounted on the, coming from the factory over to in between the gloves. For us, it was saving time more than anything else, and I just didn't see a need to do it, so I just left ours where it is. But it doesn't change anything one way or the other. So this thing is really easy. Literally, all you do is take the deck out, drill a hole in the upper side of the hopper so that you can take the hose, the reinforced hose from the metering valve, run it up through. I put a rubber grommet around it and just popped it into the hole, and then it comes right up through where the pickup tube is. I did take the pickup tube out of ours just to save some room in there. It was getting it was pretty crowded with that in. And then just run it straight to the gun like you normally do. Sorry about the lighting. It's not that great in here, but like I said, we do have plenty of pictures of kind of the upgrade and how it all goes. And I'll put some annotations on those pictures so that it makes a lot more sense. So that's about it. It's a pretty simple upgrade. Like I said, you just take your pickup tube from where it's mounted against that. So all you do is take the pickup tube out, the actual metal part of it in the cabinet, run your hose from the gun through that hole that it was in the deck. I drilled a hole through the outside about a ½ an inch or so, fed that pickup tube through, and then put a rubber grommet around it, popped it in the hole to seal it, and then it goes right down to where that siphon valve is. So it's a really simple setup. It's basically comes out of the box ready to go. And it just took me maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to put it in. That's about it. I wish I had recorded this while I was actually doing it, but I just didn't think about it. So if you have any questions at the end of the video, just leave them to me down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer all those. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and see us at BransonCerakote.com for your stencil needs. Have a great day.